Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today, Bankrupt being joined again by Jimmy, Jake, and like always, Fluff.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, beautiful people?
And today's matchup is Jimmy versus Jake. We have Jake bringing back the Crimson Warrior SSG Vegeta, and Jimmy is giving his shot at Xeno Trunks. So, like always, buttons down below. Feel free to click them. They're there for a reason. But let's get into this.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of pixels on my screen right now. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this.
I too.
It's clear for them, but
I hope I remember what cards I played.
I'm sure it'll come back to you as you see.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy, talk us through this Trunks deck. What was your kind of thought process building it? Is this deck figured out? Is this a list that you saw somewhere? Or is this kind of a work in progress that you've been working on, kind of brainchilding out?
A little bit of all directions. I kind of feel... I kind of feel like Gogeta Xeno is just the best version of this deck. I feel like if you want to build the strongest deck that plays into fusion material and plays into these new black cards, just play in a Gogeta Xeno. The Trunks deck is very strong, but it does lack in some areas that Gogeta Xeno picks up on. That being said, I did have a lot of fun with it. This particular build is different from my initial build. My initial build was just a turn card sideways aggro overwhelm deck, and I found that I was just fizzling out on the turns that I should be killing. So I don't know if that's just a limitation of this particular leader and this archetype, or if my aggro list was just not potent enough. So this one, I play a little bit more defensively, more of a switch style where I wait for an opening and then I start pushing. And in the meantime, I just set on top of cards like this Poutine that I put in my energy, this Gohan blocker that I can just keep recycling over and over again out of the warp. I can wait for my opponent to let their guard down, and then I can switch to the aggro game.
That's one thing I noticed about this Trunks list is that it's pretty defensive, and the defensive resources it has have multiple uses, which I thought was pretty neat.
Like, you know, here I'm just putting some roadblocks for you. I know you're playing blue, so I know you're going to be untapping energy. I know you will likely have counters, so being able to board both of these so early and just set on top of them just felt really, really good. And I know there's a couple stages of this game where these cards become very relevant. So I was happy to be able to draw into both of them, saying that I only run 2 of the Vegeta because I run the Vegeta Super Combo as my other fusion material for SS3 thwarting.
Yeah. It's smart that you do it that way to match that Vegeta Super Combo's power, since it's probably the best Super Combo around right now for Black.
Oh, easily. I did think about the Supreme Kai Super Combo because it's live when you have 5 cards in your warp, which is also what your leader card. You have to have 5 Saiyans in your warp to get your alternate awaken. So I did think about that, but the more I played it, I was like, I really don't care about my super combo until I'm below the 4 life threshold, so why not just run the quality super combo over a super combo that's live earlier? I think the aggro build will benefit from something like the Supreme Kai super combo, but this build definitely likes the Vegeta super combo.
That makes a lot of sense.
So talk about this Vegeta list, because I was really excited when you were telling me about it, and I didn't get to play it last week. So I was really excited to actually sit down and be able to play this. Also, to talk about this, I just wanted to use my energy for something, so that's why I boarded 2 energy for the Gohan that could have cost me 1 from the warp.
Yeah, just maximizing your turn here with the Awaken and everything.
So,
of course.
Real quick, before we go any further on his deck, is that your drop or is that your warp then?
That is my warp.
So the card effects put cards into the warp, not the drop area.
Right.
Okay, cool. I was just starting off when you said it first. I'm like, maybe I just misheard them. Then you said it again. I'm like, hang on, I'm so confused about something.
I may have said drop. I apologize if I did. But that's why I was saying that I think Gogeta Xeno is just the better leader for this package because it fills the drop area or the warp. You got me saying drop area now. It fills the warp much faster and will make some of these the Trunks SR live much faster than this deck can.
It's definitely something to consider. Although I do like the flexibility this Trunks leader provides, and with the alternate awaken, it can really be kind of a more controlling version of that Gogeta Xeno style of deck.
For sure.
So, Jake, your list. I got to play your list last weekend. Did you make any changes? Like, talk about this deck because I think this deck is super cool.
I'm not sure if the deck profile is out at this point, but I did add these Gokus that are in the energy area. I really enjoy that card. It really does everything you want for this Vegeta list. I do think if you want to experiment with this style of play, you might consider playing the old Gogeta BR leader and playing like Vekus and stuff, or going deeper into Gogetas and playing like the red blue 6-drop from the old anniversary box. But my deck was kind of somewhere in the middle where I was including a lot of like packages from a lot of different sets. And what I found is that although the individual like cards in my deck were pretty good, like this Arrival Cooler and stuff like that, they didn't really synergize as well as I would have liked them to. And I think that was ultimately a problem for the list over the weekend. Although, when you do have a lot of these big battle cards and unisons that red and blue are famous for, like set up on the table, you do feel pretty strong. Like I think we saw last week, I had a 6-drop Gogeta and a Majin Buu unison on the board at the same time, and that feels absolutely great. But the moments in between that and turn 1 feel kind of rough.
Yeah, I thought the description you gave me of this deck was just super dope. And I'd really like to... I know you said that you wanted to play some of the newer stuff, but I'd really like to see this deck revisited and see if it could be honed in to like really, really clamp that lockdown, because that Gogeta is incredibly oppressive when it comes out.
Yeah, it feels super good to utilize in blue as well. I mean, the overall idea of the deck is to just put up a wall on turn 4 and play a threat like on 4, 5, 6, and then if your opponent survives to turn 7, just use Android 17 and win that way.
Mm.
But overall, I feel like you're right. The deck could use some fine-tuning, and I think it would really benefit from the Vegeta promos that are out recently as well, which I didn't have access to for this event.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, so you tried to pressure my 5-drop Trunks here, which was very smart, because once it's removed from the battle area, it's removed from the game, which does hurt, but it is a necessary balancing thing, because being able to just cycle these out for so cheap and quickly, and they don't have unique.
Yeah, that could get disgusting quickly.
Yeah. So I felt like when I was building this deck, building around this particular Trunks was kind of a trap. Because if you went up against a matchup like Yellow, that's not going to give you full value on the turn that you're playing it, and how easily Yellow can KO stuff and, remove this card from the game. I was really... I really didn't want to build the entire deck around this card, even though this card is like one of the linchpins. And it goes back to what I think about it being all of these cards for this archetype just better supporting another black deck.
Yeah, it's a solid mid-range battle card, but I think black has enough options already that depending on if you're playing something a little bit more specific, like a black deck with hand control elements, you'd play the Demigra, or like Gogeta Xeno, you play, Thwarting the Dark Empire. I feel like it's just kind of outclassed by a lot of its peers. And the fact that it does get removed from the game after it dies, even though it's a good balance check on it, it kind of keeps it from entering that upper echelon of black battle cards, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's totally necessary, and I'm glad they did it because I feel like this card could
course.
become oppressive eventually. If you're not familiar with its auto, it's a dual attacker with a auto that's not once per turn, that when he attacks, he puts 3 black battle cards from your work back into your drop area. Which is just disgusting.
Even if he did nothing at all but cycled infinitely and never ran out, it would be insanely broken.
Sounds like he's a good enabler for the Brawly list, the black Brawly list. If that deck weren't dead, imagine this card in that deck.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah. It's not limited to this specific leader. The only thing you need is 8 battle card or 8 cards in your drop or in your warp. Damn, I'm almost fucked up right now. 8 cards in your warp to play him for 2 energy from your warp. So he's just incredibly easy to get out. Just probably my favorite battle card from this set.
Jimmy, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Your profile's not up yet because obviously we wave your profiles after they're shown on camera. But if I recall correctly, you don't play Petrification.
I do not.
Is there a reason for it? I assume it's a sideboard card for this deck, but I was just curious.
Yeah, certainly a sideboard card. It was kind of an oversight when I was building the deck the first time because I was transitioning my aggro list into a more defensive list, and I was playing this on untap. So Petrification was not in the original list. I only ran for Support of the Dark Empires, which has carried over into this list due to the Poutine being able to get better use out of support. But I think if I were to refine this list further, which I do plan on doing, Petrification will most likely find its way into the main board.
Just an overall solid negate.
Oh yeah, just one of the best easily. So I would like to talk about this Poutine interaction. This Poutine is another just incredible card. It's a Dark Overrealm 3-for-1. It has blocker on play. It spawns a Demon Realm token. And it has a activate battle that it can pop its token, restand itself, draw a card, and gain 10,000 power. So again, great offense, great defense. You can swing with her on your turn, pop the token, restand, draw, have a big body attack, and then still have a blocker to block with, or another 15k attack. If you decide to use the dual blocker on your opponent's turn, you can then negate with a Support of the Dark Empire to spawn another token, which you can block with that one again, or you can wait to your turn for its blocker to fall off, and it becomes just a target for Poutine to pop again.
I really like that card. In Hatchiak and Gogeta Xeno, just about in any black deck, I really like that card.
Yeah, card's incredible. And very, very smart getting it off the field, because the longer that card's on field, the more value it gives you.
Yeah, I feel like I either played against that card previously or watched you in a friendly use that card on somebody, and I was like, I need to get rid of that thing.
Yeah. Certainly very smart. And then that kind of just leaves a dummy token on field, because it's just a 5k combo, really. It's a 5k battle power, which, you can swing with it. But it really killed all of my all the value in utilizing my Support of the Dark Empire the previous turn. Just had to get rid of that Gogeta. It's so difficult to play through.
Yeah, I mean, it's the clear choice out of the battle cards I have on the field. And here I feel like I go for something and then think about it and then talk about bouncing these, and then I feel like I forgot to warp a card. You're like, yeah, are you going to warp? And I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I want to do that, actually. So I end up not playing this Goku here. Which we talked about it after the game, and that might have been the better play because you're at 3 here. On my turn, that Goku's going to be like a 25k because of the ability it's got, where it'll get 3k for each energy I've got.
Mm-hmm.
So it might have been overall better to just warp that extra card and make you decide on if you're going to spend your energy replaying your hosers or just keeping the attack going, you know?
Yeah, that's one of those things that it's hard to judge, because I feel like if I lost those 2 cards on field, I would have played this turn completely differently, and would have been more beneficial to me. Would I play this turn better or worse, or how would you utilize your next turn? Like, that's one of the reasons I really like doing these commentaries, because you see lines of play that you may not have noticed in the original game.
Yeah.
You do clear those off with Cooler, which I like putting those in the drop area because it just fuels my overrealm more. Case in point.
Yeah, and I think at one point you overwhelm, and I like can't believe you're back at 6 battle cards at one point. And I'm like, can I count those? I'm not sure if it's here or later.
So I think this was one of the moments where I was seeing an opening, because you're tapped up. You had already utilized 2 of your super combos. I think I do ask to see your drop area, and you still have like a decent amount of cards in hand, if I remember correctly.
It's like 4 or 5, yeah.
So I still felt somewhat comfortable trying to play through this topo. So I choose to free play the Pan. If you don't know, she reduces by 2 for every battle card on field. There's plenty of battle cards on this field to make her free.
I forgot it counted mine as well.
And as long as you didn't have any sort of sparking negate, I knew I was just going to push through it into the double strike.
Yep, and that was the game. I mean, I just did not have enough combo power. A Dimension Magic would have saved me right there, and maybe I could have mounted some kind of crackback with the 2 double strikers on my board, but I did not expect you to try and play through that topo, especially after dropping a dual attacker. I figured earlier in the game this exact interaction happened and you stopped attacking, and I figured you would just do the same thing kind of out of muscle memory, and that was kind of my hope to get back to another turn for myself.
Sometimes it's worth pushing the topo challenge, especially if you have a 40k battle card you can play for free and get a double strike afterwards.
Well,
I
didn't know we did that.
And I also felt good there, because if he did get out of the Pan swing, I could have paid 1, took his double strike Cooler, and then swung double strike at his 2 life as well.
I don't know about Jake, but I feel like if that was the case, that's one of the first cards I'm comboing off, so you can't take it from me. But
certainly.
With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed today's matchup. Keep in mind, buttons down below and on the screen while Fluff does the outro.
Yeah, congratulations, Jimmy, to winning that one. Hard fought, well earned victory. As always, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And as always, Fluff out.